Hi, this is Resident of Collinwood. I'm here to do and continue, I should say, my Dark Shadows from the beginning sort of video blogs, I guess, is what these are, is what a fellow Dark Shadows fan has labeled them. Um, shout out to David Cooper. You know, where am I going to go from here? Because I think a lot of people think I'm going to go jump right to Barnabas. Actually, no. What I'm going to get into is the stories that are wrapping up by this time in the 1966 series. It's 1967, where they are here's what stories they are going to wrap up prior to really Barnabas getting out of his coffin. There's a lot of stories that are going to be wrapped up even before Jason McGuire steps into the big house. You have the Burke Devlin storyline of why he came back to Collinsport that is finally getting wrapped up. And this all oddly starts off with a woman approaching the painter Sam Evans for old paintings that he sold to Roger, approaching Sam Evans about paintings he did years ago. And the paintings he did were about the time that the manslaughter trial was going on, that Burke's manslaughter trial. And what Sam did with these portraits was he gave them to Roger, but Roger paid money, so it looked like he was buying the paintings. Sorry, I gotta switch this around. Um, so what happens is Sam threatens Roger, if you can't find those paintings so I can sell them, so I can give them to these women, so I can make money, I will go to Burke Devlin and tell him everything. And so we're finally, again, getting reminded that Sam had an involvement in the manslaughter case. We just don't know exactly how. And, for spoiler alert for those who don't know, he actually was a secret witness in the trial. He went to the judge's chambers and told the judge that he saw Burke driving the car, when in reality it wasn't Burke driving the car at all. It was Roger Collins. So it was Roger who Sam saw. Lo and behold, Roger can't find the paintings. Sam goes to Burke and he tells him the truth finally. No, you weren't driving that car, and it was Roger. He goes, say it again. And Mitchell Ryan. Did he play the best Burke Devlin ever? You goddamn right he did. In my opinion, he played the best Burke Devlin ever, and these episodes just pay it off. It's sort of crazy because we're not going to see too much of Mitchell Ryan too much more, because he's only got so many episodes left, because they replaced him. They recast Burke Devlin because they couldn't get him back under contract. He wanted more money and they just couldn't afford him, which sucks. I wish that they could have afforded him. I wish they could have kept him, but you know what? In all fairness to him, some stars just need to peak out. I've always been a fan of Mitchell Ryan's ever since I first saw him in Halloween 6, and because I saw him in Dark Shadows after Halloween 6. And I really think that he was just such a great actor, and is a great actor, but his performance of Burke Devlin definitely holds up in my view. If you guys haven't checked his performance out in the original Dark Shadows, please go check it out. I strongly recommend it. Highly recommend it, too. I think for this, when the confrontation happens at the Great House between Liz, Roger, Burke, Sam, this is not just about what Roger does. This is about what Liz Stoddard does. Liz Stoddard picks up the phone to call the police, to tell the truth. And Burke Devlin hangs up the phone. He just wanted to see if Liz would do the right thing, and she was going to, and that meant a lot to him. He respected her for it. he just wanted to hear Roger admit that he was the one driving the car, and Roger does admit it. And so basically, what you have is stories wrapping up. You have this story of this long feud between, Mitchell Ryan's character Burke Devlin, Sam Evans, and Roger Collins. Now, Burke and Roger aren't going to resume their friendship after this, but the terms they're on aren't as bad as they once were. In my view, Mitchell Ryan's heart sort of softens because you have events that are happening, that are about to happen, and this is where I'll also get into the arrival of Jason McGuire. So this is sort of not just a wrap up video of the stories that were unfolding, because not every story wraps up. You have the Victoria Winters storyline is still going. She's still there. Alexander Moltke, the orphan governess. But you have the arrival of Jason McGuire. You don't know who he is. He just says he knows Liz, and you're not sure how. And here's where this gets interesting. In the very beginning episodes, you're told Paul Stoddard, who was Elizabeth Collins Stoddard's husband and Carolyn's father, had left. He's been gone for 18 years. Elizabeth Collins Stoddard stayed and never left the grounds of Collinwood for 18 years. So basically, she's almost like a prisoner on her own estate, on the property she owns, in the house she owns. She's almost, to sort of put it bluntly, she's keeping herself there. Because what you learn is she believes she killed Paul Stoddard, her husband. And Jason McGuire is the man who helped cover it up, and he's about to blackmail the shit out of her some more. She gave him some money and to go away, but obviously he came back. And he doesn't come alone either. He brings his underling, Willie Loomis, and that's going to play a huge part in the rest of this angle. Jason McGuire moves into Collinwood not that long after he arrives. He convinces Liz to let him stay there, and he slowly but surely starts to take money from her. And the biggest notice here is Burke Devlin. Burke Devlin, who's played by Mitchell Ryan still at this point, is noticing that Liz is selling this, Liz is selling that, and he confronts her on it. He says to her, if anyone's going to put you out of business, it's going to be me. And I love that line from Mitchell Ryan. That is one of the best lines I think he delivered. And the way he delivers it, it's just like, you don't want to hate him at that point. You want to just like, yeah, for me. But he just delivered that line so smoothly and so well. But that's what he's starting to see. He's seeing Liz being used, and he can't stand two things: one, that it's happening, and two, that he's not the one doing it. And I would say, I'll stop my video here because I do have to sort of get into the Barnabas Collins arc before I continue, and I want to do that on a separate video. People are like, well, you could do it on this video, but I just want to do it on a separate video to keep that separate. I don't want this to be too long. So I will be getting into the Barnabas Collins arc, obviously, and talking more about Jason and Willie and the things that transpired right before Barnabas Collins got released from his coffin. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and do not forget, guys, September 2nd, I'm going to be bringing John Philip Betancourt on to talk about his blog, The Return of Dark Shadows. I'm going to plug it here on Facebook and Twitter again as well. I'm going to keep reminding people that interview is happening. I'm really excited. I've been going back and rereading the blog. It's been amazing, guys, and I can't wait to ask him all these questions. I got some good questions written down, I feel. But I'm just really excited, guys, and I hope to see you guys on the next video. Thanks.